Good afternoon. What is it? 1:44 p.m. on Monday, the 30th. This is the video for the last day of 2013. The year is going to be over. I'll do one more video tomorrow, but it'll actually be for the new year, January 1st. And a lot of you aren't going to like this video. And I really don't care. I'm expressing how I feel in the moment, and I'm also expressing what a lot of people on this planet feel about some of the new age BS that we are given so often on the internet and in our world. The title is Life on Earth Will Suck as Long as Criminals Are Allowed to Be in Control. I know that's a long title, but that's the title that I wrote. This is the blurb, I just finished listening to the Bashar YouTube video, Time to Change Your Governments, and I include the link to that. His answers were, as they often are, trite and condescending. It's your government. Change it. Fuck you, Bashar. You provide zero practical advice to the problems in human society. You, not the lady asking the questions, are missing the point. You're the one who doesn't let it sink in. We live in a convoluted system where everything is a lie. It's all inside out and upside down. Many of us want to change it and have worked long and hard to make positive changes. Yet we always fall short of real change. We need help, not meaningless platitudes, to level the playing field. If you can't get it from the human perspective and are unwilling to do anything constructive, shut the hell up. Yes, I'm tired of channeled messages that tell us to go along with the ride. It's just think positive things, make the changes inside of us, and we're living in a parallel universe. Let that world alone. We can't do anything about it. And that's what he was telling this lady that was asking serious questions, and he was downplaying the questions with his trite, condescending answers, like, change it. If you don't like it, change it. But no practical things. It's just change the way you see it. Change the way you're reacting and responding to it. Make the changes inside of yourself. Be the change you want to be. All of this sounds wonderful. It sounds wonderful, but it's no practical good. It doesn't bring the change to the real world. It doesn't bring change to the real situation of those who are suffering, those who are having their rights abused, those who are, in many cases, even having life taken away from them because things are so convoluted, where doctors make people sicker, where lawyers promote injustice instead of justice, where judges rob people blind when they're supposed to be standing up for the rights of the people and the needy. They do the exact opposite. They support the lies. And then you have people in some of the communities that are supporting the system of lies, like my friend Neil Dyer. Supports. He doesn't call it supporting. He doesn't see it as supporting. He supports the lying system. He supports the admiralty courts and the admiralty system. He thinks it's a good thing. He's been taught that it's grace. Lies are grace. Give me a break. As I said, as long as criminals are allowed to produce fraudulent contracts that aren't real contracts, as long as our governments are allowed to get away with murder and robbery and threats of violence and actual violence, and as long as the governments and the corporations are allowed to make the laws and put people in offices to pass these laws and to give themselves immunity, as long as this stuff is allowed to go on, there will not be any changes on this planet. I'm sorry. It isn't going to happen inside of us. It's got to happen outside of us. It's got to happen in the world that we live in, not some imaginary world inside or some imaginary world that we're creating for some future time. And you people that are saying it's not, a change isn't going to happen in our lifetime, you're contributing to the problem of the change not happening in our lifetime. I'm sorry. You're the one that's contributing to it because you're not doing anything. You're not being involved yourself to actually change it. The lady said, why is it that in Europe, she didn't say Europe, she named countries, but why is it over there that they go out into the streets by the multitudes, by hundreds of thousands and even 1 million people strong, and they protest against their government, and we don't do that in the United States? As the United States goes, the whole world will go. And that's the reality of it, because we are the policeman of the world. Like it or not, we are the criminals. We, the United States, backed by our government, backed by Obama, backed by our corporations, backed by the international banks, we are the problem. We, the United States, not the people of the United States, we, the government of the United States. We, the criminals that are in charge of the United States, that co-opted it in the 19th century, that co-opted the republic given to us by our forefathers. They co-opted it, they stole it, and they've subverted everything that was decent, everything that was good, everything that protected human rights. They subverted it and made it null and void, when what should be null and void is the government itself and all these stupid rules that they've put on, all these extra adhesion contracts and stuff like that they've made driver's licenses, and we have to get permission to get married. We have to get a certificate of birth, not just recorded in our family Bible, but it's a legal contract. It's a piece of paper that actually has financial value. We've been converted into corporations by corporations. Fraud has created more fraud, and that's the world we live in. And life is going to suck on this planet for the majority of people until the criminals are brought to justice, until they are made accountable, every man and woman made accountable for his or her actions. Until that issue is addressed, everything else is meaningless. It will not produce the change. It doesn't matter how peaceful you are inside. It doesn't matter how great you can envision some world tomorrow. I've done all those things, for God's sake. I've done them. I've spent my life on this spiritual path. I've given everything that I've had to bring my vision to pass on earth, and nothing works on the spiritual level. It has to be done on the physical level. It doesn't work on the spiritual level because Bashar and Saint Germain and all these entities that live somewhere else in some other realm, they don't lift a finger to actually help level the playing field. And until the playing field is level, and until all men are equal as we were created by our Creator, equal, until that happens, life's going to be a bitch. I'm sorry, that's the reality. And we've created it. And I'm not saying don't take responsibility for it. I'm saying we all have to rise together and take responsibility for the world that we live in, and stop listening to these New Age channelers that are telling us that it's all an inside job. It is an inside job, but it's not all an inside job. That's the point. That's the point that I'm trying to make as 2013 ends. And as I deal with my frustration, I want to just say today that video from yesterday, I guess Drake wasn't the one that was saying those things. Somebody told me he wasn't. I'm going to give the benefit of the doubt and say that person is right. I didn't investigate. I didn't go to see if Drake was the real one that was doing it. But the things that were being said there, whether it was Drake or somebody else, those are things that have to actually change. These are the concrete, substantive changes that must take place on our planet for our planet to be a world that works for everybody, for there to be peace on earth. These are the changes that have to be brought in. We have to bring the criminals to justice. We have to stop the criminality in high places. We have to stop corporations from letting their CEOs be unaccountable. We have to stop the limited liability bullshit and make everybody 100% accountable for his or her actions. By the way, I also got an email. Let me just go to that. I think it's over here. Yes. It was from Karen Hudas, and I was really, really happy to hear from her. She said, don't be, in the subject thing, she said, don't be so despondent, in response to my video. And I invited her to do another interview, but I also suggested to her that that I still think that the biggest positive thing on the earth is Mr. Sino and Kingdom of God, Sky Earth, and Swiss Indo. And she said, Swiss Indo is Jesuit. You decide what to do. In other words, she did not say yes, she would do an interview. She just disagreed with me that Swiss Indo was the answer. She said, Mr. Sino is not the authorized signatory, person to sign signatory. I am working with the authorized signatory. She thinks there's only one. Maybe there is only one. I don't know the answers. All I know is what crosses my plate, and she sent me a lot of information. I haven't gone through it all yet. But the point that I'm making is we have to bring real change. Not Obama type change that we can't believe in because he's a liar, because he's just like everybody before him, because he's controlled by the people that paid for him to get into office. And that was what this lady was asking. That's her opening question, that she read that Obama needs $1 billion to get reelected. What the heck? He's not even eligible for reelection. I just didn't even think of that till just now. But he needs to raise $1 billion. Well, he's not eligible, number one. He's not a citizen, number two. He's not done anything he promised, number three. He's not a light worker, number four. He's done everything wrong, number five. He's not what people have believed he is. People that listen to channeled messages that said he's from Sirius, and the star system Sirius, and he's an extraterrestrial and he's a plant to help turn things around. I wish that was true. I've wished a lot of channeled messages were true. God knows I've been so excited and built up by so many channeled messages that I've heard over the past number of years. I mean, I've been listening to these things for a long time, since in the 90s. Back in the 90s, I've been listening to channeled messages. I remember Bringers of the Dawn, and I thought, man, I'm one of the Bringers of the Dawn. I'm a Pleiadian, and I do identify with that. I do identify with that there are ETs. But the ETs have to really help us. The angelic realm has to really help us and do something. Not just give us platitudes, not just tell us what to do inside of ourselves, because inside of ourselves doesn't work. I want to establish the kingdom of heaven on earth, not in my mind, not in some never airy fairy land, not there. I wanted to establish it on earth so that the whole human race and all the animals and all the fish of the sea and all the plants and the whole earth can blossom like a beautiful flower with a beautiful fragrance and actually be what it is possible for it to be and live up to it, the potential that we have. But humans are the problem, and specifically humans that rise to power in government. That's the problem. And we empower them. Yes, Bashar, you're right. We do empower them. We put them there at our level of consciousness. But now that many of us have awakened to the problem of changing that, how do we actually get them out? It's not just change it. It's not just it's your government, change it. I mean, give me a break. That's not an answer. That's not where it has to be. We have to actually bring them to justice. And you say, Ron, there is no them. It's only us. Well, if they repent, if they turn, if they stop doing their dastardly deeds, as I've often said, then they deserve to be forgiven. If they come clean and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. No hiding little facts underneath the table. Again, like I've said so many times, a national security isn't about anything national or anything secure except for keeping the liars and the criminals from being caught with their pants down. And sometimes I mean that literally, because many of them are child molesters and not very nice people. I know that from Kathy O'Brien's story. I know that of George H.W. Bush. He's a pedophile par excellence, and so is Henry Kissinger. I mean, these people are horrendous people. Horrendous people. And our governments protect the pedophiles, protect the criminals, protect the banks, protect, everything is in collusion. Everything sucks. It's inside out and upside down. This is how 2013 is ending. Is this what we want for 2014? Is this the world we're going to continue to create? Or are we going to get together and we're going to call on these ETs to actually help us do something? Don't just tell me to get peaceful and look inside. No, I'm going to get angry, and I want to stay angry. I want to stay angry till I see the changes that actually happen. I want to see them founded upon the earth, actually fulfilled. The kingdom of heaven on earth, fulfilled. That's why I'm here. And if I can't do that, if that's not possible, then I don't want to be here anymore. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. One time I had a choice. Do you want to be angry, or do you want to have peace? I think that was the way the question was worded to me. And I says, I'll choose anger if I can't have what I want, what I need. If I can't have answers to prayer that are physical answers to prayer, not figurative stuff. If I can't have physical answers to my prayers, then I'm going to stay angry. That's where I was way back, 2002, I think it was. No, 2001. 2001 that was. That was when I began to wake up to the criminality of governments because of 9/11. That was my wake-up call. I mean, I knew it a little bit before that, but that's when it really sunk in. Anyway, this is the message that I have for New Year's Eve, the day before the new year begins, the last day of the old year. This is the message I have. We need to change the governments, and we need help doing it. We need a level playing field. And I don't know if Mr. Sino is the right signatory or Karen Hudis's guy is the right person that signs off on these collateral accounts. But these collateral accounts belong to the people. They don't belong to the criminals. And we need to take our value and our wealth back and use it for good and transform the earth and make a world that literally serves everyone. And if corporations can't serve the people and the highest good, get rid of them, get them the hell out of the planet. They don't belong here. They're legal fictions. We need stuff that's accountable. That actually does something. We don't need platitudes. That's all for today. Thank you for listening.